Today we're going to take a look at this, the 2015 Honda Civic EX-L.
It features a Honda 4-cylinder with VTEC. It's good for 143 horsepower and gets 39 miles to the gallon highway, 30 around town.
So the Honda Civic lineup starts at about $18,000. As equipped today, this Civic is $24,000. Because this is the EX-L, it is the top of the line. That includes leather interior, really cool nav system, and 17-inch wheels. Now, the Civic underwent major changes in the 2013 and 2014 model years. So for 2015, Honda's just cleaned things up a little bit.
The Civic has never been a flashy car, and this one is no different in that regard. The simple lines are functional, however, providing the EX-L with a low coefficient of drag. This four-door sedan may be compact, but the back seats are anything but tight. There's plenty of room for my 6-foot frame. The trunk features a soft button trigger release. Under the floor is a spare tire should you get a flat. There's plenty of room for groceries, or in my case, camera equipment. Now, let's take a look inside the 2015 EX-L. If you like tech, this is where things start to get interesting.
So I have a little bit of a history with Honda. My very first car was a 1978 Honda Civic. I kid you not, classic car material these days. So let's take a look at this new Civic. Several years ago, Honda completely redid their interior, and it's unlike any other manufacturers. Let's turn on the car and I will show you. Down here we have the TAC. Up here we have a speedo with gas, MPGs, and a little multi-function screen over there, and yet another screen right there. It's Screentopia. Let's first cover the screen up there. With this simple toggle button, I can switch between my information about miles per gallon and range, time, and temperature. I can go to my different media sources. And let's talk about this nav. Some manufacturers continue to struggle with providing a good infotainment setup. I think Honda's nailed it with this unit. It has very easy, clear, hard-programmed buttons along the left that illuminate and deluminate as they provide functionality. So right now I'm in the main screen where there's Navi phone, info, audio settings, and link connect. Info shows economy, trips, all that stuff. I go back to home, nice little animation, go back to Navi, and it zooms in on a navigation system. Now, the neat thing about this navigation system is that it's multi-touch, just like an iPad. I can flick around in the display, I can pinch, I can pull, and if you're looking for up-down buttons for zooming in, zooming out, they're still there as well. Yet, I think most people are going to want to go pinch and zoom. And the response is actually quite good. When I touch it, it moves. It also has a really nice glass feeling faceplate here. So it's actually a good feeling on my fingers, unlike some of the ones that you have to really stab at. The volume also makes use of multi-touch. You can cycle it up, cycle it down. If you just hit one or the other, it'll also cycle individually. And then click back to menu, super easy, very straightforward, a really nice system. One of the big features that a lot of people like these days, and I actually think is a good idea, is blind spot monitoring. That usually gives you a little illumination on one of the side mirrors if there's somebody in your blind spot. Well, Honda, they've done one better. They have this cool camera that hangs off of the mirror on the side there. What it does is it actually shows you what's in your blind spot along with little markers so you can get a good spacing to see how you are in relationship to those other vehicles. Now, when you're driving around and you turn your signal on, it automatically turns on, which at first is a little surprising when you don't expect it. But then once you get used to it, you kind of wish other cars would do it as well. It's a very cool feature. Because this car is all new and has some really cool informatic stuff going on, down below here you have a USB for charging your device, which you might want to have plugged in, and it also has HDMI. That's the ability to plug in video and watch it on the display. Now, because this is the US and laws prevent it, you have to have the handbrake on if you want to watch anything on the display. Because, you know, you really shouldn't be watching anything when you're driving on the freeway. That's just not safe. Let's see how this car drives in the real world.
As we hit the road, let's consider once again the price for this new Civic.
Because this car is only $24 fully loaded. And when I say fully loaded, I mean it's got everything. From this fancy nav system to leather seats to seat warmers right down here. I like seat warmers. So we're going to come up to speed here and see if we can get off on this on-ramp. Now the red line on this car is about 6,800 RPM. You can also put it into a sport mode if you want to keep those revs up there. Get a little bit more power to play. But remember, 39 miles to the gallon. 39 in a 4-door sedan. That's not bad. These seats are super comfy. Lots of width on them, so if I was a bit larger, I would fit just fine. Everything is visually laid out very nicely. I can navigate this while I'm driving without it being a distraction. Pull, pinch. They've done a really good job with the suspension in this car. It soaks up the bumps and bruises of the road, but without being jolting and without being floaty. You got a little gap, let's punch it. Little bit of slipping before we pulled out there, but no drama. I love these wipers, how they push water away from you. They don't just slosh it to the left. That's pretty cool.
And that's our look at the 2015 Honda Civic EX-L. It features a lot of fresh technology in a very sensible package for a price you can't ignore. And it's available now at your local AutoNation Honda dealer.